Hey, this is Jeff Rose from Dollars and Roses and GoodFinancialCents.com. I have a question for all the ladies out there. Imagine sitting at home, putting on your makeup, getting ready for your day, and getting paid to do it. Does that really exist? Yes, it sure does. Today we're going to be interviewing Emily Eddington, who was formerly a News 3 anchor, and now her full-time gig is just that. She puts on makeup, shows how she does it on YouTube, and has amassed a huge following. On my blog, Good Financial Sense, I actually interviewed Emily over 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago today, and she just had over 100,000 subscribers with over 17 million views on her YouTube channel. Fast forward to present day, she's approaching almost 400,000 subscribers. Wow! With almost 58 million views. That's right. But since I interviewed Emily last time, I thought I would put my wife in front of the camera, let her do the interview, which she loves me for, by the way. So let's see what Emily and Mandy had to say.
Thank you so much for agreeing to join us and come over and hang out with us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
I'm really excited to just get to know a little bit more behind how successful you are and how you've become with your beauty channel. So we are going to jump right in. I would just like you to kind of just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Well, I'm a small town girl from Western Illinois, and I guess like looking back kind of in my childhood, like I've always had sort of an interest in the things I ended up doing as a career. I grew up like as a little kid always watching the news every morning, and also I loved like digging through my mom's purse and looking at her makeup, so it's kind of funny to see like what I've done with my life since then. But I went to Monmouth College, also in kind of Western Illinois area, and I married my high school sweetheart after we graduated college. We came down here to Southern Illinois so he could start law school, and shortly after he started there, I got my job at Channel 3 at the TV station. So I was there for about 6 years, and during about 5 years of that time, I started blogging and YouTubing. And so that just grew and grew as an interest, like a kind of a hobby turned more than a hobby, you know, over that time. And let's see, it would be December of 2012, that was when I decided to step away from the news and just put all my efforts into beauty broadcast and everything I've been doing online. So I've been really enjoying it so far, you know, just a couple months into really doing it full time. And I gotta say, I've been loving it a lot.
Yeah,
so.
It gives you the chance to come over and do
fun free time like in the mornings, right?
Right. No more having to get up early. And
yeah, it's some really early mornings, because doing morning news, I mean, I was waking up at pretty much 1 in the morning most days.
Oh my gosh.
So
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, you never truly get used to that. So
you'll be prepared for motherhood.
Yeah, I will. And that was another thing, you know, that I kind of had in the back of my mind was like, when we want to start a family, like I can't really imagine having the morning news job and trying to do like everything I'm doing online and keep all the balls in the air, you know.
Right. So, oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so how did you kind of get started with video? You know, you said that you just kind of like...
Gosh, it was, I mean, like so many people, you know, I love watching YouTube videos, and you know how you can just like start watching and then you're like, okay, how many hours have just passed that I've been
sucked in
watching YouTube videos. But it was kind of late in 2007, and I had run across some makeup related videos, and I just thought, wow, this is so cool. Like throughout all of high school, like I could only get makeup information from like the 3 pages in 17 magazine that talked about makeup, and now there's like this whole online community of people posting videos. And at that time, I remember it was a lot of like makeup artists and people who were kind of professionally doing this, you know. I have no formal training in makeup, but I just was kind of obsessed with it and loved to do it. And so I sort of thought, you know, maybe I have something to offer here. I love to talk, I like to write, maybe I could get going with this too. And so I did, and I remember making my first videos and being very scared to do them. You know, it just takes a while for it to feel natural and feel normal, just talking to a camera. But I think it kind of, with the news job and the YouTube stuff, almost worked hand in hand, getting me more comfortable on camera.
Yeah.
One just kind of served the other. I felt like when I did YouTube, it made me more comfortable just kind of ad-libbing, you know, talking off the cuff. And then for news, it just helped that kind of helped my communication skills all around, I think, somewhat.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's funny because you say you're not a professional, you know, but I think that's what makes you so relatable to people is because you're not a professional, and so a lot of people are like, oh, you know, I can do that too, or I can, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about makeup, like, you know, it's not just celebrities that are using makeup, it's the everyday women who are going to work or, you know, doing whatever, and so everybody's kind of got to be their own makeup artist, so I think that's where it kind of came in, and I was talking about more like drugstore makeup and the lower cost stuff, and I didn't remember seeing a lot of that out there when I started, so that was kind of what I dove into.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is there a point where you just were like, when you started, obviously everybody starts out small, you know, I mean, you have to grow, but did you just have like an aha moment where you were like, wow, this could really be something big? You know, what was that moment for you?
Yeah, well, I felt like it kind of took a while for that moment to come for me. Like, I feel like my channel has grown sort of steadily, but I mean, I remember at first thinking, you know, is anybody really watching this? Like, you know, a dozen people tuned in. Are they all family members? I don't know. But I think it was also about 2 years in, maybe between 1 and 2 years, that I realized you could get the revenue sharing from YouTube. Right. And so when I started, I was like, I didn't really understand that, and several people had kind of explained to me how that worked, and I think the moment where I really thought this can play a real role in my life was when it was paying our rent basically in our apartment, and awesome. My husband was in law school, not really able to, you know, go out and work full time, and I'm working on a news salary, which is not much, and so when I saw it kind of serve that purpose in our life, I thought, wow, you know, if this continues to grow, this could be amazing. And plus, I love it so much and would spend like every free amount of time that I had doing it, so I knew that was a good sign.
Right, yes, awesome. Do you think, you know, I always kind of say like my unfair advantage is that I was able to, you know, Jeff is able to allow me to stay home and I can work full time on my blog, you know, which it takes a lot of time, you know, video blogging takes a lot of time. So that's kind of like my unfair advantage, I feel like, you know, because a lot of people have to do this in the evenings or when their kids are sleeping or in the middle of the night. You know, like you did whenever you were working at News 3, you had to just do it whenever you had time and weren't at work. So what do you feel like is your unfair advantage?
I think one thing that really gave me a boost was just having like an education in communications and having a degree, like a background in it, because I think there is sort of, while anybody can hop on YouTube and make a video about anything they want, I think there truly is some theory in getting your point across, doing it in kind of a concise way, and just the news background is kind of unique to me, so I felt like, you know, having that really gave me a little bit of a boost in what I was trying to do. Like, I mean, my channel's very information driven, you know, I'm showing a how-to or I'm reviewing something, and so I think just a little background knowledge in that has helped my channel grow, and yeah, I think that's kind of the thing that maybe not everybody has, but I've been fortunate to have had. So.
Yeah, I'm jealous. I wish I had, because of course I'm like, oh, video interviewing.
But I mean, you know, you have a professional background as well. I think there are a lot of, you know, super talented, say, high school kids that get on YouTube and, you know, will start talking and do well and have interesting videos and everything, but maybe just, you know, the level of maturity that you have just being in the working world and then getting on doing videos, I think it gives people just maybe another level to relate to you on and that kind of thing.
Right,
so.
And practice.
Yeah.
Practice. Okay, so we know everybody starts down here small, and then you have over like 384,000 YouTube subscribers, which just like actually boggles my mind, because I just reached like 5,800 and some Facebook likes, and I thought, I've made it, you know, like, I'm somebody. Not really, but so like I can't even wrap my mind around 384,000 people that are like subscribing to you and watching your videos. It's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really fathom it either. Like, I mean, that people care what my opinions are. Like, I mean, I know I'm crazy about makeup, but to think that there's a whole big, you know, population of people out there who love these videos. But I mean, it's crazy, like, how many people are making beauty videos, and it's just like, it's really just the content that I'm talking about is a popular thing right now, and I think
Right.
it probably always will be now that people are figuring out, you know, if I need a tip or if I need to figure out how to do something, you know, I can go on Pinterest, I can go on YouTube, and I can pretty much figure out how
Right,
it's done.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that you know really just helped my growth, just the subject I happen to be talking about, and I really from the start, like I've got a few more than 800 videos now, but like I didn't come up with all the ideas for all those. Like a lot of it came from the people who watch, and they tell me, can you do something about this product, or can you show me how to do this? And so that fueled a lot of my content, and I think it also helped my channel grow, just because people knew, you know, that I was listening to what they wanted to see and actually doing something about it. I feel like a lot of times you see, even on the, whether it's the news or anybody saying, you know, tweet me about this, or, you know, share your thoughts on Facebook, but it's like, what are you actually doing with the feedback you get? So I think when people see that you take the feedback and you actually turn it into something, I think it's kind of fulfilling for the viewer, and it's good for you as well to keep a connection with the people who are watching.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of funny, because that's what I was going to ask. I was like, you know, you feel like you can only talk so many things about makeup. You can only say so many things, but it's just endless, especially when there's new products, and then you've got
so many. It truly is, yeah. I mean, so many different directions you can go, and just when you think you feel like you've done everything, you know, somebody comes in with one more thing you can do, and I love that, because it keeps, you know, it keeps my channel fresh, and a lot of times, you know, when one person has a question, chances are there's a bunch of other people who are wondering the same thing.
Yeah. So I was recently in Walgreens, and I noticed there was this pretty girl that I know from my hometown. So anyway, what is some other opportunities that you've come across, you know, just from having your YouTube channel and from being out there? Like, what other things with like makeup brands have you had some opportunities that have come your way?
Yeah, I had one of the first things that I can remember, and one of the coolest opportunities I had was when I had posted like a video review on some products from Mally Beauty, and she's a celebrity makeup artist. She works on Beyonce and stuff like that, and so I've like always kind of been intrigued by, you know, a brand created by an actual makeup artist, and so I did a video on her stuff, and she ended up seeing it and contacted me, and she was hosting like a beauty blogger event in New York and flew me out to be part of that, which was so cool, because it was kind of like a makeup clinic sort of thing, so I got to learn from her and just, you know, be in the midst of her team and everything she does. And so I mean, it just goes to show you don't know who's watching your videos, and also like it wasn't stuff that I specifically sought out, you know. I was just posting videos, not really thinking, you know, somebody's gonna act on what I've actually put up there, but I mean, it's been cool. I mean, Wet n Wild has called me a beauty ambassador. That's kind of where that display came up in Walgreens. So cool. And so that was really neat, because they were willing to give me and, you know, several other girls basically like a shout out to our blog or our channel there on an in-store display. So that was very exciting, and just a really cool opportunity.
Yeah. Looking back, do you, like, when you started your channel, would you have done anything differently? You know, do you have any tips for anybody out there who's wanting to start, you know? Like, would you have done something different?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wish going into it that I just had more of an education, I guess, in how creating a blog works, how the advertising comes into play, and that sort of thing. Because like I said, when I started my YouTube channel, I didn't even realize at first that you can profit from that. And I mean, it almost seems like there should be a college course in how to do this stuff, because people are, as you know, are making legitimate careers out of, you know, what they do online, and they're turning their hobbies into something that's, you know, like a business sort of. So I guess just having more of a background in that, maybe studying up a little bit more on exactly how that all works, because I just feel like I've been learning as I go, which has been kind of cool in a way, but I mean, it's just been maybe a slower process since that's the way it's gone. And I mean, for anybody who's wanting to create a channel or a blog, I think it's all about being yourself, finding, what makes you different or what makes you special, and just going off of that, not trying to fashion yourself off of, some other person you've watched or something like that. Because, I feel like especially in the makeup world, there's hundreds, if not thousands of people making these kinds of videos. So I think it's important to kind of find the missing piece out there, find the thing that's not being talked about as much, and go to that. And then as a result, you're going to be more easily found if, you're not one of thousands talking about the very same thing.
Yeah.
So.
Because I imagine when you started, it was probably there weren't a whole lot of beauty videos or YouTube
That's
channels.
another part of my unfair advantage, because like when I started, there were not that many people making them. So naturally, I got started a little bit earlier than a lot of others, but yeah, that was definitely a good thing for me, but I've consistently kept making videos, and I think that's another thing that anybody who's a blogger or a YouTuber, you can't have like giant gaps in what you put out. Like, I'm sure you've found that too. Like, you've got to give people a reason to keep checking back with you, and people who can subscribe, they get updates when you've got something new. But that's what keeps your growth happening, I think, is always having something new coming out.
Yeah. Now, do you do one video a week about?
I do probably 3 a week for my beauty channel, and I don't know. I really don't know how I did that with my with when I was doing the news stuff as well. Like, you see why my head was kind of ready to explode by the end of all that. But I don't do super high tech stuff with my videos. Like, I'll go through and edit them and go through that whole process. But it's not the most high tech time consuming.
What do you mean you don't have like lights and microphones and like
me and the camera?
We don't do this normally either. Special guest.
Well, thank you. I'm honored.
So I know that you started kind of doing more personal videos. You started a separate channel, which was more about like the life of Emily and Cupcake, your cat, and Tyler.
My cat has quite a following. So.
Yeah, that's amazing, right? But, YouTube and cats.
It all goes together, I think.
So how do you think that has helped you just by kind of branching out and adding more of a personal touch?
I do, and I think it's kind of natural to take an interest in a person you watch. Maybe you watch them for advice on home decorating or makeup or whatever it might be, but you kind of want to know, like, okay, what drew them to do this? What's their life like? And so I think the other channel has been useful in that way. It's been going for about a year, so I don't have near as many videos on it now, but I think it's just been nice to have that separate outlet and not really worry about trying to funnel too many unrelated videos into my beauty channel and then wondering, am I keeping a balance? I can just put whatever I want on the other one. And strangely, like, I posted like a chili recipe, and some people found me through that who didn't know I did makeup videos, and then that was kind of the other side they didn't realize. So I think it opens you up to new viewers, different kinds of viewers, if you're kind of separating it like that.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I know. I really enjoyed when you added that part of it. I love the beauty broadcast, and I've gotten a lot of makeup tips from you. I even attempted a makeup video, but it was...
And I loved that.
It was very terrible.
It was not bad. It was really good.
But I really loved when you started adding, just the life of Emily. It was fun. Yeah. Well, before we wrap up here, do you have just like one thing that you would give advice-wise towards people who are, wanting to start a YouTube channel or who have one right now? Just any good piece of advice.
I would say focus on the thing that you are most passionate about. Like, I really think that if this whole thing is driven by what you truly love, what you love to talk about, what you're thinking about when you're taking a shower, when you don't have to, have your mind on anything else, where does your brain go? I think that's the thing that needs to drive the content of whatever you're posting, because, if it is strictly to, make money or to, I want, 100,000 people to see this video. When you get too caught up in the numbers, it's not fun. So I think do what you truly have fun doing, and I think it will grow from there. It really will. A lot of people you see these days posting on a video in your comments section, like, I'm almost to 300 views on this video or something, and I think you know, one thing I never really did get too caught up in was the numbers.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's just been fun.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic advice too, because we get a lot of people who ask us those questions because we do a how to make money online type of blog, and a lot of people are just so driven by the money, or how can I get this many views and or this many readers, and so I think that's fantastic advice. Just follow your passion.
Yeah.
I really can't let you off the hook. We can't stop this video without me knowing what is your favorite makeup brand. This is going to get you in trouble.
Can I only pick one?
You could do 5. I don't care.
Oh,
Just what
wow.
are your top 5 maybe?
Gosh, well, man, I'm always drawn naturally to the drugstore makeup because it's so accessible and
And
it's
I
just
love
so
that.
easy and inexpensive. I love Wet n Wild. They've got the best eyeshadows in the drugstore.
Okay.
I love NYX. It's a brand that you can get at like Ulta stores, which I would love an Ulta in this town.
That would be
but
nice.
We can't have that, I guess. But
Or in small towns.
and I mean, gosh, those are a couple of my top ones that I probably like just have the most products in, but I've really just gotten in this mode where I sample everything. I'm not really loyal to any one brand, so that's
You're
I'm
a good
slightly
resource.
addicted. It's okay.
Well, where can people find you after they leave here? Where should people go?
Yeah, go to youtube.com/EmilyNoel83. That's my channel, and it contains the links to, you know, anything else that I do, my blog channel, my blog, and everything like that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for agreeing to come over and
Thank you for having
hang out
me.
with
This
us.
has been a lot of fun.
Awesome.
We're done.